Now a brand new way of helping the homeless. It's helping change lives on the streets of Cape Town. It's the world's first rent-free, premises-free pop-up clothing store. The idea is so captivating, their video is going viral. Take a look.
South Africa. A country where the haves and have-nots live side by side, but seldom connect.
I was living on the street about 13 years, 14 years, 16 years, 17 years. Believe me, I was living on the streets about a long time.
People want to help, but aren't always sure how. And for the homeless, begging is degrading. In partnership with the Haven Night Shelter, the street store was born. The world's first rent-free, premises-free, free pop-up store for the homeless. Somewhere safe to give and easy to collect. Made only from posters, people hang up and drop off donations. Then the homeless choose things they actually want and like. For many used to rummaging in bins, this was their first dignified shopping experience.
Shopping at the street store was for me very nice. The people was accepting me with friendly faces.
A week before the pop-up, we called for donations on social media. Within days, we found ourselves on prominent national blogs, news, radio, and TV. But the world wanted in too. Bono's One organization, Huffington Post, Good, and hundreds of others. Over 3,500 homeless were clothed, and millions in free PR was generated. More importantly, we brought people together like never before. But homelessness is international, so we went open source. Anyone can download the artwork and host their own street store. To date, 121 people have signed up. A few simple posters to restore the dignity to the homeless in Cape Town suddenly touched the lives of so many more.
You are sent from heaven. Thank you very much. There's no way I can pay you back. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man.
Well, Kaylee V. Leviton is one of the founders of the street store. She joins us now on the phone from Cape Town with more on a homeless initiative that's getting attention around the world. Kaylee, this is an incredibly slick way to get this around the world, and it has gone viral, hasn't it?
Thank you so much. Yeah, it has. It's been absolutely incredible.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about what the concept behind the street store is? What inspired it? Where did you get the idea from?
So myself and my partner, Max Pazak, we work at an advertising agency called M&C Saatchi Abel. And it's in an area of Cape Town that is very hip and trendy, but at the same time, there's quite a huge homeless problem. So every day, we don't like to call people the rich and the poor. Every day, the haves and the have-nots cross each other's paths, but they never really meet one another. And we wanted to do something. We wanted to use our skills, our advertising, design, and copywriting, to help make a difference in the world and help the people who we see every day. But if I'm honest, we ignore. We wanted to change that kind of perception of people ignoring the homeless. We wanted to get them to know one another again and learn from one another.
And how much of a difference do you actually think that you're making there, and indeed across the world, because this is spreading from the idea that you've put online?
Well, when we started this thing, we thought it was cool, so we wanted to do it ourselves. And what we realized is, what's the point of helping people if you only help a select few? And it's not as if we can travel around the world hosting street stores as much as we may like to. So we went open source, hoping that people would take part. And I mean, it's been slow, well, slow-ish. There have been 26 stores so far around the world that have already happened. And just in the last 4 days, we've had an extra 600 applications. So I would say it's kicked off.
So Kaylee, how can people actually get involved then? Because we've seen from the video that people bring clothes and then people turn up. And I suppose it's very accessible, isn't it? Because it's on a street and you don't have to physically open a door and go into a store.
Exactly. So how it works is that you put up those posters, and at our stores, when we do them personally ourselves, we don't take clothes in advance, because we don't want to create a cold clothing drive where you don't meet the person who's receiving your clothes and you can't get into contact with another and interact with one another. So we only take donations on the day. So donors arrive, hang up their clothing on the posters, drop off the shoe on the flat shoe boxes, which go on the floor, and then the homeless literally come past and they're given a shopping experience, and for many it's the first time they've ever had that.
And how bad is the situation there with homelessness and people who really don't have very much in Cape Town? Because I know that here, where we're broadcasting from in London, the Mayor, Boris Johnson, has been heavily criticised because people have started putting up, you've probably heard, spikes in doorways to keep people away. But what that has also done is it's raised awareness of the situation. Is that what you're hoping to do, to raise awareness that someone will do something about it?
I think it was part of it, definitely. We wanted people to get involved in this experience. That it's so meaningful and it's so special meeting these people. And we really wanted to change perceptions. People think that the homeless are criminals or that they've done something terrible to end up in the situation. But the vast majority of them, life's just thrown them a curveball and something's just gone wrong. And we needed people to remember that. And it seems to have worked. There's been a huge difference, I think, in interactions and in perspectives here in South Africa, and hopefully around the world, because, like I said earlier, people tend to try and ignore the homeless, and we're making it so you can't.
Well, keep up the good work, Kaylee V. Leviton. Thank you so much for joining us live there from Cape Town.
Thank you.
You're with the Arise News Hour. Here are the top stories this evening.